It's on there. It says that.
What kind is it?
Same kind, just the new upgraded model.
This one has overdrive.
Here's the deal. Millions of miles traveled across the globe. Thousands of concerts attended. Hundreds of thousands of records and concert tickets sold as a music store owner. Some people listen to music. Some actually live the life and survive to tell the tale. This is the autobiographical life story and rock and roll adventures of Max Baker Jr. Sponsored by MedCards Made Easy. Visit MedCardsMadeEasy.net and the fabulous Baker Boys. Always hiring. For more information, call 405-417-7656. This is the Here's the Deal podcast with Max Baker Jr.
I am Max Baker Jr., and this is my story. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Hello, I'm Charlie Crockett, and here's the deal.
Hey, this is Jeff Keith from Tessa, and here's the deal.
What's good? My name is Yellow Wolf, Catfish Billy, and here's my pool stick in your grill, and here's the deal.
Yo, this is Big Dad Rich, the Band of Outlaws, THC, Texas Hippie Coalition. And
Here's the deal.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Jelly Roll, and here's the deal.
Hi, this is Joey Ramone here, and when I'm in Oklahoma, I party with Mad Max.
So, I don't know if you realize this or not, Jeff, but
What?
the hotkey that has Yellow Wolf on it is yellow.
No, it's not.
He got a new album that just came out.
It's yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah, Yellow Wolf got a new album just came out Friday.
Friday?
A War Story.
Oh, War Story's out?
Yeah, it's out.
Cool.
You know,
Did you buy it on vinyl yet?
I've got it ordered. And he signed. He's like, he made some deal that if you sign up and buy the record before June 9th, he'd sign them.
So you for sure did that.
No, I did. I got two.
So when's the last time you talked to Mama Wolf?
It's been a minute.
Oh, yeah?
I need to give that woman a call.
She's a nice lady. She really is.
So we are officially into season 3, gentlemen.
Trace.
Season 3.
Season 3.
You know,
A tribute to Sheldon.
I'm
Number 3.
number 3.
Number 3.
So I'm just glad
Still
to
broke,
be here.
love sick, and drifting.
And we're just Trace hombres.
Season 3.
Did you guys think that we would make it 2 full years of episodes when we started this?
You know, for me to answer that question, at some point, I used to think it was not going to be a big deal or whatever. But
Oh, it's a big deal.
it's 3 seasons long, and we're doing it. We're here. My question would have been no, but
Your answer would have been no.
Hold on. Pull your shirt down.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a new set built. You won't ever be able to see that.
So, but no, man, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. I'm very blessed to have you people with me writing still. I'm very blessed to have people out there wherever you are listening to it. I hope you get as much enjoyment out of it as I do.
It's been a lot of fun, hasn't it? I mean, really.
Well, I mean, for me, you know how you come into your life and things change and stale, and you kind of forget what you're about. You forget, who you are and what you are. And for me, I'd gotten a little jaded in the business, and life could beat you down. It can also beat you down, but it can also pick you up. And to do these podcasts and start a season 3, I'm very, very proud of it, and I'm proud of the whole thing.
So when I say season 3, I want to make sure that everybody understands that this isn't like cable television or Netflix where it's 8 episodes.
There's your season.
Maybe 12 episodes, and then they're on to the next season.
Or we're going to go on strike because we didn't get no wigwams.
This is an episode every single week, 52 weeks a year, and once we hit 52, we decide that 53 starts over the next season because it's a new year. So it's a year's worth of episodes. And Max, some of these episodes are an hour long, some of them are 45 minutes long, some of them are 30 minutes long. It just depends on the story that's being told
what
at
you're
the
feeling.
time.
You know, I mean, and this is another reason why I say this too. That I'm very proud of it. I had forgotten half the stuff that I've been a part of, and you know how you start literally with nothing. You start with a group of people who have the same ambition and drive that you do. Are they here? Are they on this journey with me? Some are and some aren't. But you know,
and the way I see it is this story needs to be told. You know.
Which one?
All of them.
I'm just one guy, you know.
The history needs to be documented as to what has happened here, just for the art's sake of it, because you brought so many different genres of music to this state that normally wouldn't have been here. So you literally exposed Oklahoma to all sorts of metal and underground music.
But here's another one too. Not only that.
Then you sold them records.
But then
concert tickets.
Then, you know, I hooked up with Brad White, and we were able to create entertainment programs to where some of the best artists in the world have come to Oklahoma. And
okay, so I got a bone to pick with you, since you know all about the shows in Oklahoma because of your company. And you may not work all of the venues, but you typically know all of them that are happening.
Right.
How the hell did we miss Billy Ocean at Riverwind?
It obviously wasn't promoted. I didn't know about it.
Somebody told me that they saw Billy Ocean at Riverwind. I was like, you did what? Like, how did I not know about that?
Let me tell you something that bums me. And so... If you've lived in Oklahoma and you're listening, or if you're not from Oklahoma and you're listening, but here is something that in our city I thought would never happen. So we're going to take the date September 5th, 2024. On that day, there will be a guy named Charlie Crockett playing at the Criterion. On that same day, there'll be a band called the Goo Goo Dolls playing at the Riverwind.
I know which one I'm going to go see.
Huh?
I know which one I'm going to go see.
I do too, but the fact of the matter is, it comes down to now, this town used to never have a choice of what you wanted to go see.
Right.
You follow me?
Oh, I do. I lived here. I lived here back then.
So,
where you go to other towns like Dallas or Denver or St. Louis,
I just say that there's a lot of music out there. A lot of live music out there. You know, some of it comes down to cost, or to pick and choose. I mean, I'm in the business and I don't go to every concert.
Well, the market's kind of saturated with concerts now too. I mean, you can see a concert any night of the week, you know, within a couple hundred miles of where you live.
So I know that's a tough decision for you. Charlie Crockett over the Goo Goo Dolls. I know you're a big fan.
Seen both bands.
But you know what? I am a big fan of both bands. But
I got a question for you. Did you ever book the Goo Goo Dolls back when they legitimately were a metal band on Metal Blade?
No, they
because they pretty much played the East Coast only, right?
I think they come here one time, possibly at VZD's or Rome 90. That would have been a Daryl Bascom or Scott
Booker?
Yes, Scott Booker.
But I know that's hard for people to believe.
Right.
But the Goo Goo Dolls.
They have 2 albums.
Yeah, legitimately they were a heavier band.
So, Max, what you're trying to tell us is you have a choice between a boy named Goo and a $10 cowboy.
Or I got a boy named Goo and a $10 cowboy.
Isn't that what I just said?
That is.
Boy, the reverb's getting really heavy.
It's the echo.
It's the echo.
It's the echo. I turned on the delay. So Max, we wanted to talk a little bit about your health and what you've been going through and all of that. We had a couple of best of episodes. We've had so many new listeners to the podcast. I thought it was a good idea to go back and revisit some of the early stuff so people may not have gone back. And I chopped some of those stories up, but I tried to tell people what episodes they were from. That way, if they wanted to go back and find it, they could. But you've had a lot of health issues this past year that you've navigated, and we've talked about them openly on this podcast.
Well, I think
it's time to update them. We see that you're still alive.
2023 at the end of November, I pretty much taken myself off the road. Knew at that time I was going to have to get a new knee, and it's been a process. It's been a blessing. At first, trying to get a new knee, I had to go through all these tests to make sure that I could do it. And, one test led to another doctor here, there. And so starting off the new year, I pushed myself to the limit to get the things done that I needed to get done. So they were going to take it in February.
No, the first time you were supposed to have it, you're supposed to be recovering on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah,
that's right.
We talked about
but I
that.
didn't make it.
Correct.
I mean, it was like there were complications coming in. That time, at the last minute, insurance wasn't approved and they wasn't taking me. So here we had to wait 2 more weeks.
Dude, and that whole month was
it was a roller coaster.
It was a roller coaster. February.
Every day, it was the polar opposite of the day before.
And so, it came down to the wire. And so then they did the surgery. And right after I got home, we recorded.
What was it?
3 hours?
3 hours? And you said
or less.
Yeah.
And so I thought everything was great.
It was great. It was great that night.
And then about a few days later, it wasn't so great. My pain level became 10 plus. I had an infection set in my leg, and we ended up. They told me blood clots. We ended up back in the hospital. Got it.
Well, Jay and I would sometimes he would call you, sometimes I would call you, and then we would call each other and go, so how'd he sound today? It's like,
right,
man, he sounded better than yesterday, or you know what? It sounds like he's going. And every day, Max, you don't realize it because you weren't on the other end of the phone like we were, but it's like you could tell the days that you were in a lot of pain or the days that.
Well, I couldn't get my finger on it. Then finally, the pain, the infection specialist came in and
because you had an in-house nurse,
and so figured out what the problem was, and so I went on.
You had to go back to the hospital, right?
Had to go back to the hospital, and they put a PICC line in, and I had nonstop infection medicine put in there, and I got to feeling a lot better. Well, I felt so enough that you guys ventured out with me, came and got me, and took me. I probably hadn't been out a week. If we went to Kingfish at the tower.
Yep.
But the cool thing about being at Kingfish at the tower,
and we were both worried that something was going to happen to you the whole time,
But there was a man upstairs watching over me and blessed me. At that same show at Kingfish was my infection specialist doctor.
I remember that.
You guys seen him, but he had freaked
the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, man.
He gave me a quick visit
and a permission slip, and he was glad that you were there.
Told me great to be out. So and that's kind of stuff that kept my spirit going.
But that was a big step just to go to Kingfish.
But to get out there, I mean, like you said earlier, to get out there, it was a process. And then when I got out there, I wasn't. It was great to be out at Music Heals. My whole life is about music. Songs.
Obviously, the pick line is gone.
Yes.
So you're no longer having to do that at home with the
Right.
Antibiotics and whatnot. So how is the infection now, Max?
The last time I got a visit, he said everything looked cool, gone. Keep doing what you're doing. And so, but here's the other part. All these little things have been setbacks. I got a new knee, but there have been setbacks because I couldn't do the exercises, can't do this, can't do that. Really frustrating at times.
You got to a point where you couldn't stand. You needed help to stand.
Right.
I mean, and that sucks. Imagine people not being able to stand.
And so I'm having to come back to that. Well, a couple of weeks go by, and the leg's not bending as much as they want. So they come up with this crazy idea. Hey, Max, we want you to come in here Monday morning. And their idea was to straighten it out. They were going to put me under
sedate you
and sit on it.
Sit on it
The
and
doctor
make
was
it go
actually going
straight.
to not only he did sit on my knee for about 30 minutes or an hour, stretching out and trying to break that scar tissue. I mean, you can say whatever you want about medicine, but old school's the where it's at. He had to go back. And he told me.
Did you hear it crack? Did you hear it crack or anything?
Yeah,
What he said?
I didn't. I was out.
Oh, you were out.
But he told me that the nurses and everybody would walk by him. But it's like this. It's a great man and a great doctor. The doctor put me back together when I got hurt in 2009, saved my life then. And right now, he's probably saved my life again. It's a blessing because nobody wanted to do the surgery. Nobody wanted to, all I've ever heard is you're diabetic. Don't eat this. Don't eat that. You won't heal right.
Don't get on that operating table. Chances are you won't get off.
And go to the heart doctor, and then they come up and tell you things, and you're looking at it, and it's like, and meanwhile, this is just me with my body. Meanwhile, though, I have to have enough strength and in my mind to run my business, because nobody's going to run my business like I run my business. And, from a hospital bed, from a couch, from whatever, the drive and the determination and knowing that, and I truly think this too, I have a lot of responsibility. I own a company and people work for me, and my responsibility to them is to find them jobs so they can live their life, feed their families, or whatever. And so, the thing about it is being hurt and being recovering and all of that. I got my mind, and my mind is glued to the business and to what's going on and everything. I truly believe that if I had to come home and put it all on hold and sit there and worry about it, I don't know if I'd make it. I really don't know. And then the other thing, though, I know for sure that music is in my life. It's in my soul. And, the way I've had to look at it, how do you recover? Do you swallow a bunch of pills and, that gets you by? Or do you do what you've been doing for 28, 30 years of being clean and sober? Let the music take over. The music becomes the healing, and songs mean you. They hit you. They bring a tear to your eyes sometimes. and everything. So it's been very important in my healing process that music has been a big factor. Not only is it listening to music, but it's live music. Live music to me, it does heal the soul. And so, being sick, having to pick where you're going, venturing out, like Jeff said, I ventured out one other time thinking I was Superman and I could go see Dwight Yoakam and we were going to do a couple of shows.
Two shows back to back.
Yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah.
We only made it one day. I got sick, and
Where was this show?
It was just
Durant.
we didn't even leave the state.
yeah,
I mean,
we were just to Durant and back, and it was like not good at all.
we went down the day before. We stayed in the hotel.
Yeah, I mean, it did not end up very well. I mean, the next day I woke up and it just.
And he sounded terrible. He says, "Jeff, I don't know that we're going to be able to go to this show." And I could hear it in his voice. I'm like, "No, we're not going to go to the show."
It got so bad I had to go and be admitted into the hospital.
As soon as you got back.
So that they were trying to tell me I had water or whatever in my lungs. And then I went to the heart doctor, and he wanted to put me immediately in the hospital. And I had to tell him, "Look here, dude,
That's not
there's
what
a
I'm
lot
doing."
of things that I'll do, and I don't mind doing them, but I got to call you on this one. I'm not going to no hospital. I'm going back to my house, and I'm going to figure it out." And man, I went back, prayed, started taking the medicine, still running because if they tried to call my sister and my family and said, he needs to go. And I can remember my sister calling me and I said, "Listen, if I go, I'm doomed and I'm not doing it, And like she told that doctor, he's got a business. If he's not running it, it's not going to be good.
Well, hold on a second. You also said, "Tell you what, I'm going to go see the Stones in Houston, and after the Stones, we'll talk about it."
Yeah.
But I'm not going into the hospital and doing anything. I'm going to the Stones.
Well, that's what it was coming down to. I mean, you had that Ryan Bingham show the week before, and then you had the Stones.
Did you go to the Ryan Bingham show?
He canceled
He canceled.
till October of next year.
Okay.
Wait, didn't we go see someone else before? We tried another show.
No, we saw Dwight, and then
Didn't we see another one at the
we
Tower?
came back, and it's like it was down the wire. Are we going the Stones or not? Are we going the Stones or not? So I can remember the day we left, or that Friday.
The week before, you didn't feel too good.
No, but when I got in that truck and I started heading south to Houston, and we got our little thing planted, it was nothing but it was very surreal. I was able to meet people that I know that we don't see each other very often, but when it comes to show business, we see each other. We also had dinner with some guy. What was his name? Neil?
Neil, that saw the Stones.
His name was Neil, and he saw the Stones
290, what was it?
299.
9 times, yeah.
Yeah, that Houston would have been his 300th show. And the first time he seen the Stones was in 1989.
That was the first?
The first.
Wow.
And he's already seen them 300 times.
And
all these different continents.
So I'd leave, go to the bathroom, and come back, and Jeff says, "Hey, that's this guy. How many times you seen the Stones?"
That's crazy.
And everybody at the table starts laughing.
"Hey, how many times you see the Stones?" He said, "This will be my 300th time tomorrow night in Houston." And I just went, "No shit." And later on, as we got to talking, Jeff goes, "He did the same thing to me." And I said, "What'd you say?" He said, "I said no shit."
Well, they were talking about having his shirt made.
Yeah.
Guess how many times I've
He
seen the
said,
Stones?
Everybody he tells that dude says that. And then this other guy that was with Ron and them, this dude had been following the Black Crows.
Oh yeah,
He'd been on the Black Crows tour.
He had just come from the festival,
and so
from the jazz festival.
He had just come from week 1 of the jazz festival
where the Stones played
for the Stones show. And what he had was, I guess the Killers played at the jazz festival, and there's a place in Mississippi called Tipitina's.
Tipitina's, yeah.
And the Killers played a small club show as a warm up to Tipitina's, and so this guy has a picture of himself holding a sign that says, "I'm looking for 1 ticket," and that singer, what's his name, Brandon Flowers?
Yep.
He's got a picture with him holding that sign, and that dude was his guest.
That's badass.
He was outside.
Isn't that cool?
That's badass.
I mean, how do you make that happen? You know,
That's
and
some shit Max would do.
So these guys
exactly.
we were all together talking like that, and so
John was there, Ron was there.
Yeah, my friend John was there, and Ron was there, and Ron's sister, and
and then we had the blind girl take our picture.
Oh yeah. So this is funny.
I can already tell.
We're at this Papacito's.
This is crazy.
Badass Mexican place in downtown Houston.
Place is packed.
And the place is packed.
Good-looking
And
women.
so they want to do a group photo. And so
we do. Everyone. At the
I look around and I see this girl. She's got glasses on. I don't think nothing of it.
She's got on that. She's got on the.
She's
she
like a hostess.
She's got on the outfit.
And so she takes the camera.
He goes, "Can you take our picture?" She's like,
And
"Sure."
so the first one she takes, when we seen it, I said, "Because a blind person, I'm half blind. I'm blind."
I said, "See, we can say we met Stevie Wonder at the Rolling Stones deal, and he took this picture."
You just asked Ronnie Millsap to take your picture.
Then we all got to look at her. She had all those dark.
She had one that was good and one that was out of blurred.
The blurry was probably sharp to her.
So
tell them about the hotel.
So then, we had this queue. These guys see the Stones as much as they do. They know where they're staying.
They're not groupies. They're not fanzines. They are professional Stone fans.
I mean, and so
there's an art to
and
it.
there's a whole group of them.
And there's an art
And
to
so, we're gonna go to the hotel and hang out
the next day.
The next day, show day, because they got to leave at a certain time.
And we
the only way you know where the hotel is you got to look for the cars.
But they have fake cars. They have like fake stuff sitting over here.
It's the craziest thing I ever saw.
But you drive around and look at it. It's a whole big.
It's a process.
And there's cops over here on motorcycles just randomly meeting that come into play later. There's stuff over and
they all wait for this time.
And so Max keeps getting these calls. He's like, okay. They're going to come out of the south side of the hotel. They're going to come out at whatever time. They say, okay, and then get back. No, hold on. There's a change of plans. So what they're going to do now.
So then I walk into this bar. We're going to grab something to eat.
Now we've made it to the actual hotel.
We made it to the hotel.
That they're staying in.
We made it where they were staying in.
And you could tell by the people in the lobby that they knew what was going on.
So they were doing the same thing we're doing.
But no one at the hotel
says nothing
confirmed
to
anything.
nobody. And so we go in this bar.
Nice bar.
And this table of cowboys, not cowboys. I'm talking probably ranch owners.
Yeah, Jay, they were.
Ranch owners.
Yes.
And so I walk in this bar, and this guy calls me out. Hey, what's up? You're that guy from last time. Here,
we haven't seen you since wherever.
And then this other guy says, they're Dickie's friends, and Dickie was the guy that me and Brad and Rob Miller met that got us to Runwood art shows. You didn't know that Dickie's died. I mean, I instantly became in this people's group. And I had no idea.
They're like, yeah, Dickie died. And Matt's like, Dickie died. And he's like, yeah, Dickie died.
And so anyway, we sit down to get our food and drink. My son's freaking out because Jeff is giving the blow by blow like it's on now. And so then these two ladies so we're talking. And
so this table of Cowboys are behind
they're
us.
Listening to our conversation.
And we're the table.
And
they're on this side,
and so these two ladies, I call them the Banger Sisters. If you've ever seen that movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Susan Sarandon. And I can't remember who else.
This one lady starts talking to us.
She goes, "Excuse me,"
and she
Goldie Hawn. And Goldie Hawn and Susan Sarandon.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't. I didn't put it all together because there was an older woman with this other woman. The older woman was cool as shit.
The one that was sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
But this other lady comes over and she
told us that
she's the one
she
that
had
broke
met
the
Elvis.
ice.
She's like, I met all them.
Well, hold on though. First that first lady that come up.
Yeah, so
this is really strange.
Lady one, we'll call her.
What do y'all do?
She comes up and starts asking us, what do we do? And all this stuff. So then she proceeds to tell.
And Max says, "Have you ever seen the Stones before?" And she goes, because Max is looking for this common thread with people, and she says, "I don't want to bring the mood down, and I don't know how y'all feel about this."
And so she proceeds to tell me and Jeff that she had a son, and that he died, and that she had brought some of his ashes with her
so that he could go to the
so he could go to the show, and she was going to spread him during Sympathy for the Devil.
Right on.
I said, "You go, girl.
Get after it, woman."
At that point, when the older lady turns around, she goes,
the older lady
goes, "Do you like Jerry Lee Lewis?"
Yeah,
you know who Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, she goes, "I've hung out with Elvis Presley." We're like, But here's the thing: you could tell by the way she was talking that what she said, she meant, and she had done.
And Jerry Lee Lewis and who else was it? Was it Bo Diddley?
No, Bo Diddley was the only one she never got to meet who she wanted to meet the most.
And of course, Max says, "Well, I've met Bo Diddley."
And Dylan goes, Bo Diddley gave my little brother guitar lessons.
and so these people are like, "Really?" And then you got the rich cowboys over here. So the rich.
And so here's how you know they're tied in. So one of them leaves and goes upstairs, and when they come back, you see him putting them passes on and those armbands on.
And see, what we were doing, we were waiting because at a certain time they were supposed to come out of the
right.
And so we're sitting in this bar waiting.
They're like giving you, if you're in, they're giving you a blow time. And so and then I roll out there to see and set up. It's not a set. The guards are all cool. So we're in there, and Dylan's like, "Hey, Dad,
you know who that
there's
is?
Gary Clark Jr." And I'm like, "No way." He goes, "No, seriously." So I roll by him, look him over. He's tall, and didn't say much. And then so I go outside.
Dylan asked him what. Yeah,
and so Dylan walks up and asks him, "Hey, man, are you Gary Clark Jr.?" And he tells him, then Dylan goes, "Yeah, that's him, Dad." And I went up and told him, I said, "Hey, dude, what's going on? I'm looking forward to seeing you, but you're playing the casino I work at next week." Because he was going to be there the following week.
And that's where Austin met Gary Clark Jr., his other son.
And so, that's what I got a picture with the guy. But the cool part about it was there's probably, 100 people?
Yeah.
There's 100 people probably down there milling around.
Well, remember there was that group of cops that were sitting over in the corner, too. They were all motorcycle cops.
Because here's how you knew it was getting real.
If you really
one cop was there. You had to be watching. One cop shows in, no problem. The next thing you know, 3 of them show in. I kept rolling outside. When I seen
you talked to him at one point, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I would have asked about the weather and everything because there was like 12 of them. I knew it was game on then. So then, you go outside and look around and start looking for your position. And
They hadn't put up. Had they put up the velvet ropes at that point?
No, they hadn't put. Yes, they did. They had put the velvet ropes up.
But see, all the SUVs, they're not parked there. There's just like one or two, but they're all parked around the corner down the street.
Right.
Until
so those were the decoys. The real ones were on the property. And it's like, so then it's like, you start look. They start.
Then the cops left. When the cops left and got on the motorcycles, it's like
when you heard them start up, you knew it was getting ready to go down. And so then all of a sudden, boom, here they come. First one, Ron Wood, out there waving the whole thing. We're like from here to maybe the end of this couch from you.
Yeah.
And he gets in the car and waves and everything. And then a few other people go in there. I think one was that lady, the new singer.
The new singer, yeah.
And they got the SUV. And then the Mercedes, here comes Jagger.
Yeah.
And dude, he was like, waved, moved in quick.
Yeah, I mean, it was quick.
But all these people, that gathered there, they knew the whole routine. Nobody yelling, it was.
And we're waiting. And waiting,
yeah,
and waiting
peacefully,
and it's like, where the hell is Keith?
Yeah,
and then they shut the door, and they start gathering.
They just go back about their business.
Put the velvet ropes up and everything.
Keith, and like this kid tells me, he's not coming out. The one that was friends with Dickie, and so we seen him again at the show. He goes, Keith left 6:30. There was only two people there, us. But he didn't leave with them that day. I think at the first of the tour, I don't know, man. He's moving now.
Yeah.
It took him a minute. But the thing about that was, that show, that's just before the show. So, we're in true Max Baker fashion, we're trying, I have some great ideas. Well, the idea was we were just hanging out. Some girl offered me she had seen Fish how many times? Widespread Panic.
Widespread Panic.
It's a Panic girl.
Okay.
And so Max goes, so they're playing with them in Denver. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Wow.
Okay.
And so she's like, I got one ticket to hang with me, VIP. There would have been a time I would have done it, but I wasn't going to do this like that. So anyway, we rode with my friend, and they tried to give us tickets. And in a way, I was offended because they tried to put us on the 6th floor at the top and pretty much told me, hey, if you're going to get to your seats, you got to get out of that chair and walk.
Okay, so this is a big stadium. It's right beside the Astrodome, sitting right beside it. So to get up, there's no elevators or anything to get up this thing. So it's one of these racetrack things, and so it's
a circle.
It's 1.5.
By the time you're at the top, dude, you're winded.
Yeah, it's 1.5 rounds for each level. So you go 3 rounds to get up 2. We have to go up 6. So it's like,
and then
and then we roll in to look at where the seats were, and they were up from that.
Yeah, they were up 10 more rows. And so I told the handicap, I said, the girl assistants, how you doing?
I'll take care of this. I'll go to the handicap desk. We'll get all this fixed.
Hey, my seat here is I got to walk to it, and I can't walk. Can you help me? Lady's like,
and you're obviously in your chair.
Yeah, she's like, nah, pretty much no. I go, what do you mean you can't help me? You cannot help me. And she like, no. I said, I got real quiet.
I'm handicapped.
I got real quiet. I go, look here, lady. I'm gonna ask you one more time. I'll be nice about it. But I am in a wheelchair. I can't stand up.
You people sold me these tickets.
I bought these tickets here. I need to be accommodated if you can't handle it.
You go, I drove however many
I drove 600 miles to be here.
I'm handicapped.
I said, I don't need to have my day ruined. So I'm going to ask you this question.
One more time.
One more time. Can you help me?
Or are you going to deny me from
and
going to see my favorite band?
And if you have come back with the answer no again, I feel sorry for you because your karma's going to be a bitch. And she left the building, left the room.
She got up from her
because she goes,
left.
She's come, and then she came back in because she wanted to tell me off so bad. I mean, this girl was rude, downright mean. And I said,
and there were handicapped people in line behind you.
And I said, so what is your answer? She says, no. And I looked at two people in there with her, and I go, are you rolling with her? And then I kept telling her, karma, lady.
She goes,
so I turned around being pissed, thinking, what the hell? So then I seen a handicap sign for the get on the elevator to go down. So I just got on there from that point on. I said, hey, man, I guess we made up to the wrong thing. Can you take us down?
Well, you told the lady who was working the elevator what happened. She goes, oh, that's just terrible. Yeah, you guys get on that
We'll
elevator.
take you all the way to the bottom floor.
And he's like, I don't know if I have enough juice left in my chair to be able to make
she
it
took
down.
she took us down to one. She took us down to one. I called my friends. I'm like, dude, this is bullshit. And they're like, I'll be right there. So me and my buddy, we do an exchange in the bathroom, and
Gary Clark's already on by this time.
And Gary Clark's playing, but I got to get Dylan, and we got to go down one more level. And so these ladies were beating on the door, like I would come out and they're like,
well, you have part of the story of what door?
Get the bathroom door. Go, give me a second.
In their family bathroom.
Yeah, family bathroom. I go, give me a second. I got to get, Dylan, because we were getting our armbands. And
that's where they distribute them in the family bathroom.
And so they're like, can we get on this? Can we?
And while they're out there doing this, they're like,
but they bug so hard the next time. I'm like, what is it? They're like, man, we got to get in there and do a bump. I'm like,
y'all are hogging the bathroom.
So we got out there and went down the floor next.
And they were pissed. They were mad.
I mean, went down the floor next, and they put me all the way to the front. And it got even crazier once we were there. So we're in the front, Rolling Stones. It's popping. I'm talking rock and roll at its finest. Houston, I'm not thinking about sickness. I'm thinking about let the healing begin. And
like Mick is from he's right over there.
And it's like the whole thought of where I'd been, what I'd been through, all just went away because I set myself a goal to see the Rolling Stones first day. And you know what? There were people that were probably betting on it that said it wouldn't happen, but I did it. And not only did I do it, so we're there. And so I see this kid next to me. He's not a kid, he's a man. He's got a set list, and he's looking at it, and I'm not paying no mind. I'm just thinking, man, that's weird. That dude's
How did that kid get a set list?
That dude's got a set list.
We weren't a kid.
Then I look again, he's got a hard card on, and I said, well, I didn't think nothing of it. Well, he's got this friend.
Who's having a good time.
And the friend is having a great time. And, sometimes when I get anxiety, I have to take my medicine with me and, take a puff or two. And so this dude that was with them, there's like 3 couples. He starts talking to me and telling me, do you know who this guy is? I'm like, no.
He's licking this pin.
Yeah, he's like, and he keeps licking this thing. He's like, it's Ronnie Wood's son. And
Mac's like, sure.
I'm like, okay, cool, But
because we flew in on a Learjet.
Then after they took some of my medicine, they offered me this liquid.
Back in the day, it would be LD25. Yeah. Okay,
and so I said, no, thank you. Thanks for the kind gesture, but no.
You don't need to be tripping.
So I tell Jeff and Dylan what this guy's doing, and man, you could look over at him.
He'd be dancing and
he'd be dancing, and I never forget the time when Gimme Shelter. This dude was licking that deal.
Well, like, look at him. He's having a great time.
But no,
it really was Ronnie Wood's son.
Yeah, he really was Ronnie Wood's son. And when I talked to him, and what was wild was my friend Ron, being the guy that he is, he got the dude's number. They live in London. This dude told me that he was going home now to London. There was a jet waiting at the airport for him that they just flew over to see their dad.
Opening night.
See the show and get back on it and go.
Wow. I thought you were going to say Ronnie Wood's son was hanging out with those old ranchers and he owns a ranch in Houston.
No, but I'm going to tell you about the old ranchers.
So hold on. So what did Ronnie Wood's son give you?
He gave me the set list.
The set list that he was looking at, which is how they met. It was over that set list.
Awesome.
So that was really cool.
So,
and then, you got to tell about the merch thing too, real quick, because remember we went and tried to get the merch from the guy who was out of shirts, and then.
Oh yeah. So like I've said before, the Rolling Stones get you coming in or going out, and actually, their shirts on the street look better than their shirts they were selling. And I bought this guy out. And he had a friend. Well, what happened was he gave us one too many, and I didn't. Jeff wanted to get a shirt, but he was ignoring Jeff because he thought I was pulling a scam on the dude. And he ended up finally. I said, "Man, what's your problem, dude?"
He goes, "You got to pay for that other shirt.
You got one shirt you ain't paying for it." I'm like,
"What the hell are you talking about?
What are you talking about?" And it was like two that were stuck together. And so I ended up buying that one, and Jeff got one, and we were all good. But, I mean, it kind of funky.
Yeah, it got kind of funky.
And then the other thing that was cool was when we were leaving, there was, remember that circle? There was 50 people from Argentina that had traveled together to see this show.
And they're all sitting out there talking.
And there's a circle at the end of the night of all of them, making sure they're all back together. They're all talking. Just wild stuff like that.
Well, we did people watching before the show, and the people going to the Rolling Stones show. Here's the cool thing. First of all, I'd never seen so many different Rolling Stone shirts. So many old
different variations.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's the Rolling Stones to me. Now you buy a shirt, it just says Stones. Right.
Well, like this one is specifically for Houston. It's not for the tour. It's for Houston. So there's other shirts like that are just for like one-off
they
shows.
Have for their city.
And there's
like Iron Maiden does.
And there's people there from other countries, so they also have Rolling Stone shirts for different companies. That's what we'll do. Next Rolling Stones we'll go to, we'll get a collection. We'll see how many different shirts we can
getting
find.
there and hanging out.
And you had to talk to everyone.
What was cool was, like Jeff said, seeing all the different configurations of the T-shirts. What I was into was seeing all the different types of people. You've seen people in wheelchairs. You've seen people in scooters.
We saw another blind person. Remember the guy with
You've seen blind people. You've seen
young, old,
people with boots on their leg, people looking like this is their last breath, and basically,
and all races of people too. I mean, from all kinds of countries,
all ages, all races, everything, music oriented, and it's like, so then you're sitting there wondering, these guys are 80 years old. Man, this is the first night of their tour. I've done all this, and I know they're badass. And just the thought of for me to be able to say, I did the surgery. My leg's still not healed, but it's better than it was. And I hit that goal. I hit that mark. And from there, it has grown. I'm not quite I'm probably where I need to be. It's not where I want to be.
Well, honestly, now you came back. We were gone for what, 4 days, 5 days. You came back. It took you about a week.
Yeah.
Before you could do anything.
Well, they're getting
again.
better. You know. But then again too. So I'm still reaming off the high of that one. Well, guess what? The $10 Cowboy, Charlie Crockett, releases a record. What does he do? He does 4 $10 Cowboy special shows in the state of Texas. What day? May 2nd?
Yeah, May 2nd.
May 2nd. I just seen the Stones April 28th at the Longhorn Ballroom, Charlie Crockett. It was, so here I am.
Only 4 shows.
Music healing. I'm talking about, the guy, it was that venue was awesome, I think it goes back to the venues like the Longhorn Ballroom, Kane's Ballroom.
The history that goes with it.
The history that goes along Billy Bob's.
Because you own that, was it Jack Ruby that used to own that?
Yes.
But
just that whole setup of, back in the day, it had hotels. So you could get too loaded and go to the hotel or whatever.
They're refurbishing those too. That would be pretty cool.
And it also had, that building had segregation.
At one time.
At one time, you had the black side and you had the Cowboy side. You walk in the building and you see all this memorabilia of people that have performed there. It was Bob Wills at one time stopover. But seeing Charlie Crockett at the Longhorn Ballroom.
But also, there's a lot of black people that played there. Then B.B. King,
B.B. King,
Buddy Guy,
James Brown,
but they
Al
played
Green.
they played on the other side. They had high caliber over on both sides, and the whole thing was they should have just tore down the wall and let everybody enjoy the music.
Right.
Because now they have these what do you call them, like shadow box things that'll have like their uniform or a guitar or something, or a video of them playing there, and like a poster. Stevie Ray played there. Stevie Ray Vaughan played there. And so we were going around looking at all these, because
the Flaming Lips.
They were truly cool. Wow. These little boxes.
And that was where the cassette experiment took place.
That was also where the Ramone's interview came from.
Yep.
And it's also where the Sex Pistols played the night before they played Kane's. That was at Dewey Groom's Longhorn Ballroom. So anyway, we're going around looking at these boxes.
And
Waylon played there. So tell them
who?
Waylon. Jim.
Yes.
So we get to the one with Waylon. It's got some cool pictures. It's got like a poster and everything. And there was very clearly a guitar that's supposed to be hanging there that's gone. I'm like, Max, something's missing here. He goes, the guitar. And I'm like, what?
Well, what they did with the guitar was
we had no idea.
They walked out on stage and gave it to Charlie Crockett and told him to play it. And it hadn't been played since it had been put in that deal.
Only people that have ever played it is Shooter and Waylon. And it had never been played in the state of Texas.
Right.
And they've had it
and
since
Waylon died.
jamming
on it.
And they took it out of the case and let Charlie play it.
That's pretty incredible.
And he played a Waylon song.
The thing about that was when we got our tickets, I got floor. I'm thinking, come on, Jeff, let's go down here and see how we can get on the floor. Well, this is crazy.
That's kind of deceiving.
This is like, so they're like, look here, we're going to have to walk out here. You're going to roll behind us on this barricade to the middle of the floor. We're going to open the gates up, and you're in with the crowd that's already in there.
And then we'll close them.
Then we'll close them. That's it.
And you're stuck there.
So we're like, fuck that.
I was like, what if there's a fire?
I turn around. We plant ourselves in a good position to see him. And you got these people that are coming around cleaning, and they look like they should be doing something, but they're not. Anyway, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes these guys carrying this dude.
At first we thought he was drunk, but he wasn't.
And so they get a chair. They put the chair right in front of me, and sit the guy down. Okay.
And this guy's doing
so
this.
then they all walk away. What does the dude do? He head plants into my wheelchair.
Right in the front of the wheelchair. I mean, whack, right on the chair.
While Charlie's playing.
And then he's down on the ground, and all these people are like, wow. Max is like, the guy just hit my scooter.
I'm going to need you to fix that dent, young man.
Hey. Then they showed up with a stretcher and wheeled him out of there on a stretcher.
But then again, too, go back to, all right.
And what was that bar we went to while we were down there, too? That neighborhood bar that we went to while we were down there.
Oh, because you was there the same night.
You were there seeing somebody else, and we were like on two different sides of the street, like a half a block apart or something.
Something hot dog went on.
I don't remember.
It's the bar right behind the factory.
Oh, you guys went to the hot dog place down there in Deep Ellum.
Yes. What's that called?
I can't remember the name of. Been there forever.
It's won all these prizes and everything.
Because I always go to the place I told you about, Pete's,
which is like across the street and down or something.
Twisted Marlin or whatever it's called.
What the name was that? But we went there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Hang on, I'm gonna look it up.
Oh,
what is it called? Something dog. Angry dog.
Raw dog, angry dog. It wasn't red dog because that's here in Oklahoma. No. It was
angry dog.
Angry dog.
Angry dog.
Angry dog.
Yep.
Shout out to Angry Dog so we can think of your name.
But
on Commerce Street in Deep Ellum, Texas.
Yes,
Dallas,
yes.
Texas.
So having the music, and now I'm
you guys were there, and I was having tacos just down the street.
What band did you go to see?
Bad Omens.
Bad Omens.
They're the band on Mayhem.
Yep.
So, what do you feel about that package?
I think it's badass. And here's why. It's all new, up-and-comer, youngers that the older metal establishment has kind of shunned and not taken seriously. This is the metal the younger generation is into. This is the metal that the younger generation who's going to carry that torch of being metal fans, this is what they're into right now. And so the fact that it's got all of these bands on it, I think it's great. Like it's
it's in San Bernardino, so it's on the same grounds as where it was a week before they got what's it called, Aftershock.
I didn't know that it was at the same grounds.
Yes.
Okay. So Bad Omens, Parkway Drive.
They're good.
Love them. Architects, Ginger, Poppy, Kitty, August
They're
Burns
good.
Red, After the Burial, Darkest Hour, Roman Candle, Holy Wars, Peyton Parish.
Does they got Every Time I Die?
Mothica, Suicide Silence, We Came as Romans, Born of Osiris, It Dies Today, Unearthed, Throwdown, 7 Hours After Violet. And so there's some older ones like Unearthed and Throwdown. And
Ginger's been around for a minute.
It Dies Today and Kitty, August Burns Red obviously been around, but these are all, kind of fairly newer bands.
I think that they have rock and roll has to do something because, the Jaggers of the world, the Judas Priest, even the Slipknots, they're older. And some of them don't preserve well.
You're right. Well, that's where we're going to end this episode.
Hold on. You want to let's tell about one more show that we went to.
So anyway, I'm feeling better, working hard.
Hang on. Let's save that for the next one because we're over an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do the next one right.
Okay.
We can start and go.
Yep. All right. This has been the Here's the Deal podcast, the Max Baker Jr. story. If you want any more details on where you can see it, all of the links, the YouTube channel, all of that is available on the website, here'sthedealok.com.
The Here's the Deal podcast, sponsored by MedCards Made Easy and the Fabulous Baker Boys. Hosted by Jay Ramone and Max Baker Jr. Produced, engineered, and fact-checked by Josh Lupton and Jeff Brownen. Subscribe to the Here's the Deal podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.